Hey guys, I'm Pastor Jonathan and this is 5 Minute Fridays. Every Friday, I take a question from my Wednesday Instagram question session and I answer it more in depth here on 5 Minute Fridays. So if you want your question featured on 5 Minute Friday, you can send your question in Wednesday on Instagram at Pastor John Vazquez. You can find it down below in the description. Today's question is, as a young minister, do you ever feel underappreciated and underestimated? The answer is yes. Yes, yes, yes. All the time. I remember starting as a young pastor at 25, which, relatively speaking, that's young. In our district at the time, I was the youngest pastor by like 15 years. It wasn't even close. But I know there's pastors who are way younger than that. But I felt I was young. So I'm a 25-year-old rookie pastor, and they asked me to take care of this church in San Diego. And I remember feeling so scared, so nervous, because I was like, what do I have to offer these people? And then I started doing it. And I felt emboldened because I was like, God called me here. I knew what I was doing. I knew what I wanted to do with this church. I wanted to help. I knew how I could do it. And then the comments started. There was, I remember this meeting, this particular meeting. And if you're from my church in San Diego, you'll remember exactly that moment. I was sitting at the table holding our church meeting, and this old lady stands up. And I'll never forget the words that she said to me. She said to me, "You are not the rookie, negligent pastor that we needed." She said it in Spanish, but the words resounded in me. It hurt. I tried not to react because I didn't want to let her know that her words had affected me. And thank God my wife was sitting next to me, and she touched my leg and just kind of looked at me and signaled me to breathe, and she kept me calm. I was so hurt by that because I had given up my life, literally. I gave up my family here in Florida. I had given up our home in San Bernardino, which, if you know California, it's like 2 hours away from San Diego. And we had given up our home to come be with these people and help them out in their moment of need. And it felt like they didn't care. And she legitimately told me, like, you weren't the person that we wanted or needed. And it just made me feel like, how does she even know? Like, she doesn't know me. But I nonetheless was hurt by her words. And I remember God having to minister to me, God having to help me feel strong again. And, I'm honored and grateful for my mom who passed away recently. I'm thankful for her because she always knew the right thing to say and the words of encouragement that I needed to hear. And she helped me understand that people were hurt. They weren't trying to hurt me. They were just hurt, and they were speaking out of that hurt. And I pushed on nonetheless. And I'm grateful, God gave us an amazing victory. And that old woman who rejected me that day, 5 years later when I was leaving, and the last day I was there, she came up to me and gave me a hug and told me, "Pastor, you're a man of God. And I'm glad that you came here." And that for me was super fulfilling. Every day I see people who, when I say I'm a pastor, even now at 33, 8 years later, there are still people who look at me and go like, "You're too young to be a pastor." And I try to remind people all the time. I read this amazing quote and it stuck with me. And it's something that I remind myself every day, that the experienced, aged, intelligent, wise pastor that everybody wants was one day the rookie that nobody wants. And I try to remind myself that even though I'm young and I'm a rookie and I'm someone that probably nobody wants, someday that wisdom and that knowledge and that experience that everybody will want, I will be able to bless people with because of these times now when nobody wanted me. So, I try to remind you, if you have a young pastor or if you're a young minister yourself, remember that today people underestimate you because of your age, because of how you look. Don't worry about that. Do God's will. If God called you, He's going to back you up. And just remember that someday they'll look at you as that young rookie pastor that no one wants, and someday you'll be that old, experienced, wise leader that everybody wants. So just cherish the journey from one point to the other, and I promise you that everything will be okay. So that's all the time I have for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If it blessed your life, if it helped you, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, share and like forward, and we will be grateful for you to share and like it and subscribe and all those good stuff. Follow us on social media. You can find our handles below at Instagram, Facebook, and here on YouTube, of course. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon on the next 5 Minute Friday. See you soon. Bye.